Well, hello everybody, and happy 5th of July. I hope you are having a beautiful, amazing, super fantastic weekend. I know I am. I hope that you are taking some time to rest, relax, and recuperate before you go to work on Monday. I hope you're spending some time with your family, but most of all, I hope that you're spending some time with yourself. I hope that you are writing in your journal, and I hope that you are manifesting the life and dream that you want. So, I want to talk to you today about something that's really important, something that a lot of people don't do because they just figure, well, I don't have time. This is journaling, it's writing, it's sitting down and taking the time to just be with you and your thoughts. It is so important, it is so powerful. And I want to share with you what I've been able to teach my clients. And I want to share with you an opportunity to be in the room with me and my clients and learn about some of the things that we've been able to do. So I'm going to get my journal for you so you can see it. I have multiple journals. This one is green because it has to do with my business. Okay. I also have a blue, I have a red, I have a white, a black. I have all kinds of different color journals. But let me just talk to you about this one. For those of you that are watching me and you are business owners, I want you to raise your hand or just type in the comments, I'm a business owner. For those of you that are authors, I want you to write author in the comments or raise your hand and just say, hey, I'm an author. If you are a coach or a consultant, I want you to write that in there. Hey, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant. If you are someone who just loves the written word and you just love to communicate through writing, then I want you to write the word writing, type the word writing at the bottom. This conversation is for you if you are feeling like, wow, life is just kind of overwhelming right now. This conversation is for you if you're in a place where you're like, I thought that I would be in a different place at this time in my life. Particularly if you're like me and you're over 40 and the kids are big now and you're like, okay, what's next? Right? Or you may have transitioned from one career to another career, or you may have retired or semi retired. You might be like, okay, what's next for me? What do I do with myself? You may have more time than money, right? And you may be sitting around like, okay, what do I do with all of this time? What do I do with myself? Like, how do I govern myself? How do I parent myself? Right? Because every time you reach a new stage of life, there's a shift. And some of us don't transition very well. Raise your hand if you're like me and you don't transition very well. Like things get kind of rocky and it's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing right now. This conversation is for you if you are in a gray area, which means you are in a valley of decisions and you're just waiting. You've done everything that you can do, right? You've put in all of the work that you needed to put in, and now you're just kind of waiting, right? This happened to me when I was transitioning out of the classroom. I was a classroom teacher for about 20 years. I taught English, I taught history, I taught grades 6 through 8, and then I transitioned to 9 through 12. And then I was like, okay, what's next? Started writing books, started coaching and consulting on the side while I was still teaching. And then I got tired of doing both. So I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can just do this business. That was 4 years ago. For the past 4 years, I've been working my business full time. And when you work a business full time, you must treat it like a business. So you must treat it like you're going to work every day. And so that was a transition for me to go from being a full time teacher to being a full-time teacher, part-time consultant, to transitioning into full-time consultant. That was a major eye-opening awareness, because I had to learn how to parent myself, because I no longer had a bell schedule, right? You know how you go to school and you have a bell schedule and it tells you period 1, right, is from this time to this time. Period 2, period 3, lunch break, right? Or nutrition break. Some of the schools that I taught at would have a 15-minute nutrition break. So there would be a bell for that. Then there was lunchtime, and then recess. If it was elementary school, it was recess. Middle school and high school, they just had the regular lunch, and then PE, and then you have your prep. And literally, as a teacher, I benefited because my life was literally micromanaged from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed, because there was a bell schedule. And then my own children were on their own bell schedule at school. And then when they came home, I structured my household exactly like that bell schedule. And we ate at a certain time, and we packed our lunches for the next day, and we had homework time. And on the weekends, we had games and practice, and we had church, and we were structured, organized, on task, routine, rituals, here, there, everywhere, busy, right? And then when I transitioned out of the classroom and my kids got big and went off to do their own thing, then I was like, okay, what am I going to do now with all this time? And so, human nature, what do? We scroll, right? So I found myself spending hours and hours and hours and hours scrolling. And then what else do? If we have extra money, we go out to eat, right? We go get ourselves pampered and dolled up. Right? When the money gets short, then you start cooking. Then you start doing the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right? And so, what I want to show you today is how to take that journal. I showed you my journal, how to take that journal and write some things down to help you get yourself recalibrated for whatever stage of life you're in, whether you're transitioning from the workforce out of the workforce, whether you're transitioning from college into the workforce. Your schedule has to change. Your lifestyle has to change. You have to change. I talk about something in my community called the author identity. Okay. I help people write their books in 90 days or less. Some people write their books in 5 days. And I have a challenge coming up, and I'm going to invite you into the challenge in a second. But some of my authors actually do come into the community and they write their book in 5 days because they've been pregnant with the book for decades. I was pregnant with my first book for 12 years. It took me 12 years to finally get it out. And when it was out, it was out. But while it was in, it was in. And it was bugging me because it was that one thing that just kept nagging me and keeping me up at night. And finally, I was like, all right, let me just write this book. Just get this thing done, right? And then it opened up the doors to a whole nother lifestyle of being a coach and a consultant and a speaker and a writer, right? And an organizer of events and a host of retreats. There's so many things that I get to do now because I have the time, the energy, and the space to be able to do it. But I wasn't able to do this until I started journaling, writing these ideas down, getting them out of my head onto the page, and really just expanding my awareness. You're not able to really expand your awareness if you're not writing these ideas down, because here's what happens. The ideas get bottled up, and the ideas give birth to other ideas. And so your head, if you could just imagine the inside of your brain, you have like over 60,000 thoughts. So just imagine that as like pieces of hair just flying around. Like you see some of those cartoons where the hair is just like scribbly. Those are all your thoughts, like giving thoughts and little baby thoughts and thoughts everywhere. It's like, Why are you walking around carrying all this up here? When you take that out of there and you put it into a little container, you feel 10 pounds lighter. When you get all this stuff out of here onto the page, then you can see it. And it's like, oh, it's not that overwhelming after all. Oh, there it is, right? So I want to teach you something. This is 3 steps. Okay. It's ABC. I'm just going to put it to you like that. ABC. How to get these ideas out of your head onto the page so you can move on to the next thing. Okay. And for those of you that want to write a book and you have all these ideas, but you're not able to get them out, stay until the very end because I'm going to invite you into my challenge where I'm going to be teaching you how to take all these ideas from the page and put it into a book and do it very quickly and put it out into the world so that your message can be seen and heard. Okay. Those of you that are here, you are probably drawn to this video or attracted to this video because you want to know how to do some effective journaling. There's all kinds of different ways to journal. There's all kinds of different things. Some people say morning pages. Some people say scripting. Some people say brain dumping. Some people say journaling. Some people say, there's all kinds of different terms. But what I want to do is break it down to you. ABC 1, 2, 3. Okay. ABC 1, 2, 3. A is for ask. The quality of your life is based on the quality of the decisions that you make. And the decisions that you make are based on the questions that you ask yourself. Okay. So here's A. Ask yourself this question. What am I really here to do? Like, why am I still alive and walking this earth? What is my purpose? Ask yourself that question and write down the answer. And if you don't know the answer, then just put, I don't know the answer right now. And that's something that you could write about and come back to later. Okay. Ask yourself this question. What are the things that I do that really make me excited? One of the things that I do is I teach and I love it. And it doesn't have to be in a classroom. I can teach anywhere. I can go outside and sit underneath a tree and teach somebody how to journal, right? Or how to write a 5-paragraph essay, or how to prepare for their spelling test, or whatever it is that they need support with. I can go sit outside right now under a tree and teach. What can you do that you love doing? Like you just get lit up. Like you just get fired up and excited, right? Write that down. What is it that you love? What is it that fires you up? You should be doing that. Okay. Dreamingtruth.author. Hello. Welcome. Felicia. Welcome, Felicia. Thank you for tuning in. It looks like you're on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. I love my YouTube people. You guys are faithful. I'm a YouTuber. I'm also a binge watcher of YouTube content. So I love it. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Feel free to interact. Yes, she says, I am on YouTube. Yay. Thank you. I appreciate you. Make sure you click subscribe and click the notification bell so you can get all the updates. I try to go live every other day unless I have an event coming up. Then I usually go live every day so that you can hear the updates on what's happening with the events. So I'll be going live every day in the month of July because I have some really cool stuff coming up in this next quarter heading into the holiday season. So you'll see a lot of me. Please share this content with your friends, anybody that you know that needs to hear this content, someone that you know has ideas and they probably need to write a book. Instead of you constantly telling them that they need to write a book, just send them my video. I'll tell them. That way you can just blame it on me. I'll be the nagging person, the nagging friend that says, write your book, right? I would love to, I would be happy to be that person for you. Because, friends kind of get a little, My stories buzz around in my head until I write them down. That seems to be the best way. Let me see. Let me take a picture of this so I can save your comments and respond to you. That seems to be the way to get that portion of the story out. But then the next portion of the story starts buzzing around. LOL. Absolutely. This is why we have to write every day. You know, if we're going to be creatives and we're going to truly step into our gift, we have to write every day. Every day. Okay. Yes, every day. And I have a whole accountability system for you that I'm going to share with you during the challenge. So stay tuned. Okay. All right. So this is ABC 1, 2, 3. So A is ask questions. Ask yourself, what do I love to do? What am I supposed to be doing here? Why am I alive? Right. And then B, I told you it's ABC. B is when your mind starts to talk to you, believe it. Whatever bubbles up in your mind is your truth. So believe it. Whatever you asked yourself, whatever that response is, believe it and go ahead and move forward as though you actually do believe it. Okay. So A is ask, B is believe, and then C is create. Create a story, create an essay, create a post, create a full journal entry. Okay. Now, I just created something this morning that I'm going to share with you, and you can share this with your friends. I created a quick little journaling activity for one of my friends this morning. She was talking about her business plan, and she's actually already in business, but she wants to expand her business. Okay. So what we did this morning, we got on a call. We were on a call probably like for 45 minutes, but we took 10 minutes of that call and she let me practice my craft on her, and I coached her for free, and it was fun. And we go all the way back to middle school. We've been hanging out since we were 12 years old. So this was really, really fun. I said, all right, let me coach you. Give me 10 minutes and I'm going to coach you and help you get yourself out of this. I got all these ideas, right? She's like, okay, what do you want me to do? I said, okay, grab a pen, grab a paper, sit down. Okay. I said, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. I'm going to mute myself, but I'm still going to be here on the phone with you, but I'm going to mute myself. And I want you to do this writing activity in 10 minutes. And she's like, all right, what do you want me to do? I said, okay, on one side of the paper, I want you to write love letter to God. And she's like, what? I'm like, yep. Dear God, why am I here? What is my purpose? What do you want me to do with my life? Okay. And then I said, flip the page over. And on the next side, I'm just going to say her name is Sally. Okay. I want you to write a love letter to Sally from God. And she did it in 10 minutes. And I go write a full page letter that you're going to ask God a whole bunch of questions, and then flip it over and then answer those questions as though you are God. So you're having to use your imagination. She did it. And in 10 minutes, she got whatever she needed to get out of her head onto the page. And then I said, okay, how do you feel? She's like, good. I said, now what do you want to do? And she's like, I really want to write down my catering list of my catering packages and my catering stuff for my business. And I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. Let's do it. And I'm like, do you have time to do it right now? She's like, yeah. I said, okay, now flip the page and let's start brainstorming. What are some of the things that you want to do with your catering? Because right now she has the business where it's like mostly deliveries, and sometimes it's food truck, and she hired someone to help her. And I said, girl, you have a whole food empire. And she starts telling me about her clients that are like recurring clients. And we started creating this whole membership subscription program. And she was like, yeah, I've been wanting to do this. And I'm like, so here's what's missing. You've been wanting to do this. These ideas have been in your mind swimming around, but you haven't made the time to sit down and write out a plan. And you can't write out a plan if the ideas are swimming around. You have to sit down, do a brain dump like we just did for 10 minutes, get your brain focused and structured on the activity, and then your creativity can flow. So ask yourself questions, believe yourself because you're telling your truth, and then start creating. Allow yourself to flow. And that's it. That's all I want to share with y'all right now. That's the ABC 1, 2, 3 of getting yourself started on journaling effectively to get those ideas out. And that clears up any writer's block that you have. Because once you sit down with the pen and the page and the timer, you are now focused. And so you're going to clear out, which is the brain dump. You're going to clear out all the trash that is in there that you don't need in there. Write that stuff out. And then you're going to be able to ask some questions and go through that framework that I just gave you. And you're going to start flowing. Pretty soon, if you start doing this 10 minutes a day, pretty soon you'll start doing it 15, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day, an hour. You'll be like, "Ooh, I've been writing for an hour." That's when you get into your zone. And getting into your zone of genius is the secret sauce to being able to get your book done in record time. How do I know? Because it's happened to me. It's happened to my clients. I've written over 10 books myself. I have a second anthology that I'm working on right now with a group of authors. And we're writing success strategies, success tips and tools on how to become successful authors. And in my chapter, I'm writing about how to overcome writer's block, okay, procrastination, imposter syndrome. And I'm listing out my framework and strategies on how to overcome those things. And so that's my chapter. My other authors are writing their chapters about using their support system to hold them accountable. I have one author that's talking about how her connection to her church has helped her shift her mindset. I have another author who's writing about a specific book that she read that has really helped her to shift her mindset. So we're all writing about something different, but all the chapters come together to form one collaborative anthology, and that's going to be out in November. You're going to love it because it's just going to go through a lot of the stuff. That imposter syndrome hits hard sometimes. Oh, yeah. And see, the thing is, I've been studying this for 8 years now. The procrastination, we can kind of get that under control with an accountability system. Okay, the writer's block, we can get that under control with the journaling. The imposter syndrome is something that you're going to deal with for the rest of your life as long as you are a human being. It comes back and it creeps up because you are growing and expanding and you're going up to a higher level. And every time you go up to a higher level, some people say new level, new devil, right? Some people say new level, same devil. Whatever your truth is, it's whatever your truth. For me, it's like both. Sometimes it's the same devil. Sometimes it's a different devil, just depending on what level I'm going to, right? And if it's something that you've never done before and it's scary, imposter syndrome really hits you hard because your brain is trying to protect you. Your lizard brain back here wants to keep you safe. So anything that's new, that's different, your brain doesn't want you doing anything new or different. It's like, danger, what are you doing? You've never been here before. You don't know that person. Don't talk to them. Like all that's happening. And then your creative mind, which is up in here, your creative space, you can't even get there if you're stuck down here in your lizard brain. This is survival. This is fight or flight, freeze, right? And up here is creativity. So when you're journaling and you're writing, you're literally calming your nervous system down, right? There's something special that happens when your hand has a pen and it touches the page. Your entire body starts to become present in the moment. and you drop out of your head and you drop into your body and you become a creative being, right? That's such a beautiful thing. And I love to facilitate that. And so now what I want to do is invite you into my community. And I want you to come in and meet some of the other successful authors. I am a writing coach and consultant for successful authors. Those are people who got their book done, launched it, sold it, and put their message out in the world, and now speak on stage on a regular basis. That is my definition of success. People who speak about what they write about and have integrity and who share and just love to teach and are servant leaders. Those are my people. Those are my people. And the reason why you need to put your book out is because you need to find your people. Matter of fact, you don't need to find them. They will find you. As long as you put your message out and you are true and you speak in your true, authentic voice, there are people like this that are waiting. They're waiting on the edge of their seat for you to step up and embody your full authority as an expert. They're waiting for you. When I started my main work in progress 2 years ago, I would use write ideas on sticky notes. Absolutely. And I had to keep telling myself that I'm not writing a book. I'm just writing an idea. Hey, I love that. I'm just writing an idea, which could possibly turn into a book. Those ideas became scenes. And then before I knew it, I had written over 20,000 words of my story. Ooh, that's what's up. Good job, Felicia. Let me know if I'm saying your name right, Felicia. I love it. I love it. That's amazing. Yes. Sticky note after sticky note after sticky note after sticky note becomes a whole string of sticky notes, which becomes a story, which becomes something bigger. Yes, 20,000 words. Wow. Good job, girl. Good job. That's exactly how you do it. And everyone has a different kind of system that may work for them. And so I'm so glad that you were able to create that system to work for yourself. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to be sharing these strategies in my 5-day challenge, which is coming up on July 15th through the 20th. We are going to be sitting together, gathering together on a Zoom call. And we are going to have our journals. We're going to have our pens. We're going to have our drink of water. Some of us are going to have incense and candles. However you have your home set up, we're going to create the ambiance. Okay. We're going to talk about the ambiance of getting into your writer space and channeling your inner writer. Okay. That's a whole process. That's a whole ritual and a routine. And once we get into that space, we're going to hold that space 1 hour a day, every day for 5 days in a row. And we are going to see what we can create in that 5 days. And you are going to be blown away when you see what you are able to create in 5 days. Some of my clients are able to write books in 5 days. Some of them are able to publish the book that was already written in 5 days. Some people are able to create an entire course because it's been in their belly. They've been pregnant with it. They just haven't had a safe space to create it. And so that's what we're doing. When you come into the space, I'm going to assign you an accountability partner. And yes, it is safe because the people in my community are writers and they are professional career people who have already worked all kinds of different jobs and now ready to focus on writing. Because writing is so important for communication. Communication happens in every facet of life, every area of life. So even if you just come in just to improve your writing, you're going to walk away with some tools and some new words, new higher level vocabulary that's going to help you become more assertive in your life and be able to get what you want. Because the people who ask for what they want get what they want. The people who are assertive and respectful and communicative, those are the people who get the life that they've been dreaming about. Because it takes people to help your dream come true. And that means it takes the ability to articulate your ideas out loud in front of people in order to get your ideas and your dreams to come true. So I want to see you in the 5-day challenge. This is a holiday weekend. So I have created a coupon code for you so that you can come into the 5-day challenge for free. It's 5 days of training under me. You get an accountability partner. You get a workbook so that you can print it out and be ready for class. Inside of that workbook are worksheets that have prompts to get your brain thinking. You don't have to make up your own prompts. I already did that for you. Okay. You're going to get 5 days of teaching with me. You're going to be able to ask questions, and you're going to get invited into a free Facebook group so that even after the challenge, you can still keep in touch with us. And my team and I are happy to answer questions, to cheer you on. Some people take longer than 5 days for their challenge, and they come back and they say, hey, I want to celebrate the fact that I got this book done and it took me 20 days, 30 days, 50 days, 60 days, but I got it done. You can come into the circle, into the Facebook group, and make announcements about how you're doing. And when the book is for sale, come back into the community and say, hey, the book is for sale. Would you like to buy it? You might have classmates that want to buy the book. It happens all the time. So this is an opportunity for you to do some networking, hang out with some really cool people, get an accountability partner, get a workbook, and get inspired to get back into your writing. Okay, it's 5 days. Starts on July 15th. It ends on July 20th. If you get in today, you get your workbook and you get in free today because it's a holiday weekend. So I've extended the coupon code to last for you up until Sunday at midnight. So you have between now and tomorrow midnight to use this coupon code. And I'm going to put that link inside of underneath this video. So you'll be able to click it, go through the checkout. When it says enter coupon code, you enter coupon code, which is FREE, and the balance will be 0. You'll be able to get in. I will get a notification on my side. My team and I will make sure that you get a workbook. We'll make sure that you get the Zoom link to come into the private Zoom room. We'll make sure that you get into the Facebook group and that you are ready to go. So when class starts on the 15th, you'll be ready. All right. Okay. That's all I have to share with you today. I hope you have an amazing, beautiful day. I hope that you get to spend some time with your friends and family. I hope you get to eat some really yummy food. I hope that you get to spend some time with yourself, right? I hope you take out some me time and do some writing, because writing is so powerful. All right. I'm going to release you. You may go. Sweet dreams wherever you are in the world. I hope that you enjoy yourself, and remember to always keep writing.